Hey everyone, it's Zack Beck. We live in an interesting time when it comes to investing. Whether it's meme stocks like AMC and GameStop, cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, or even now Shiba Inu, or tech stocks like Tesla, there are various variables that you and I need to consider when we're placing our money into the market. So what I want to do in this video is provide you with 5 investing pitfalls that you need to avoid if you're considering actually placing money into any of these areas, whether that be crypto, momentum stocks, or even just regular playing into the stock market as a whole. So let's take our time, dive in the details, jump into it right now. As previously mentioned, there are various possibilities that you want to consider when placing your money into the market. Therefore, let's take a look at the 5 investing pitfalls that you need to avoid, starting with number 1, avoiding hype. Now, this is very important to be aware of because just over the last calendar year alone, we've seen so many stocks and cryptocurrencies go up and down, and generally speaking, they have a very similar story. Now, there is a saying that goes, history doesn't often repeat itself, but it does rhyme, and that is basically what has occurred. So let's take a step back and look at one of the first stories that hit us this year, and that was GameStop. And GameStop saga went all wild because basically what occurred is a stock price that was extremely low had a short interest on it, and basically it became aware on Reddit, which then caused more people to buy the shares, hold the shares, or they hodled the shares depending upon who you're looking at. And what happened is the price then skyrocketed as more media attention occurred. Then what happened is the price actually fell and shot up again, but it was the same story that was repeating itself. Basically, it started low, it got media attention, and it went high, and more people became interested in it because they were fearing of missing out. Then what we had happen is at the same time, AMC, the movie theater, had the same exact thing occur, where basically it was a very low stock price, it gained media attention because it had a short interest on it, and then it shot to the moon and then came crashing back down. Now let's take this same approach and apply it towards cryptocurrency. Same thing occurred starting with Bitcoin. It started below 10,000, shot up over 60,000, dropped to 30,000, and then went back up to 60,000 where it is right now. Same thing occurred with Ethereum, and then even more importantly, it occurred with Dogecoin. Dogecoin started for less than a cent, and then it shot up all the way up to 77 cents before crashing back down and holding right now about 28 cents. And right now we're seeing the same thing occur with Shiba Inu, where basically it started for a very low price, and now it's shot up because of all the media attention occurring. Now, with this being the case, I just wanted to share this with you because I believe it's important to avoid hype. There's a saying where you want to say, buy the rumor, sell the news, meaning that once you start hearing about a cryptocurrency, maybe on a lower end threshold, maybe it's on a chat board somewhere, maybe you're just hearing it on Reddit or whatever it might be, that is generally when the rumor is occurring that perhaps this investment might take off. Now, it doesn't always take off, but it does occasionally occur in these instances that then garner more attention. But then the reason why you say sell the news is that by the time we reach peak media attention, when it's on the pages of CNN or CNBC, and you see every influencer out in society actually posting a video about it, that means that it's garnering the most attention, the most eyeballs are on it, therefore more people are likely to invest. And you might be one of these people who has your eyeballs glued onto that. And if you think about your thoughts back when Dogecoin was going up, back when AMC was going up, back when Bitcoin was going up, and even going back to when we saw GameStop going up, you really want to think about a second that if you're investing your money, are you investing into hype? And hype, not necessarily a bad thing, but you need to be aware of the fact that it's all about timing when you're investing in that type of instance. And generally speaking, by the time you're hearing about this on national media outlets, it probably is too late for you to make significant money on this, and that's important for you to be aware of. Furthermore, you want to make sure that you're not the one left holding the bag at the end of the day, because if you come into investment late when it's at peak media attention, it's highly likely that you might lose a lot of money, which people have had happen to them. You generally only hear the stories of going from rags to riches, or the person who becomes a Dogecoin millionaire, or even the person who became a Shiba Inu billionaire by just investing $8,000. There are so many stories out there where we hear about people getting rich quick, and that generally occurs that where we want to actually invest into that because we feel like it could occur for ourselves. Bear in mind that it's very similar to gambling or almost playing the lottery when you're doing it with this type of investment. Therefore, I want you to be very cautious when you consider investing into anything that has a lot of hype around it. And hype isn't just limited to cryptocurrencies or to meme stock, it also can occur in normal stocks themselves. You could think of like a Tesla, which gained a lot of media attention and its price skyrocketed over the last year, but then you also think it has more fundamentals behind it because it's actually a company with profits and a product. And yes, it does have an eccentric billionaire, but it actually actually has some validity behind it. So that's just something to be aware of. Just try to avoid hype when you're placing your money into the market. Now, before you YOLO all of your money into Shiba Inu, please bark at the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I'm just kidding, but if you wouldn't mind tapping the like button, it would mean a lot to myself and would help the channel a lot, so please do it right now. The second investing pitfall that you want to avoid is fear of missing out, or better known as FOMO. Now, this ties into the first point because when you think about the fear of missing out, that is generally something that's deep at our core as individuals. We often want to be associated with success. We generally feel more comfortable when other people are around, and generally speaking, even from the time we were children, we want to have what others have. So if we see other individuals maybe making money or investing into a certain asset, we don't want to miss out on that opportunity. Like I previously mentioned, we'll read stories about people going from rags to riches, and that inspires us to actually go and maybe take that same calculated risk and perhaps put some money into that asset or into that crypto or into that stock. But when you're utilizing fear to actually drive your decision making, it can oftentimes override some of the logical processes that you actually put in place that can help you make a more well-informed decision that actually might lead to the actual result you're pursuing. And that's an important thing to be aware of, is that if you're utilizing fear and if you're considering that you're only going to miss out if you don't invest in this right now, that is probably not the best time to actually place your money into it. And this doesn't necessarily just apply into investing. You think about life as a whole. Whether you're considering buying a house like everyone is right now, you're considering, oh, I don't want to miss out on low interest rates, therefore you're going to go bid on a house for an excessive price that you cannot afford because you think the interest rate is low, and that could end up leading to you making a bad decision for your long-term financial health. You might even take this and apply this to your relationships or to your job. You think of the great resignation that is occurring right now. Everyone's considering quitting their jobs, whether they're looking for a better life or they're looking for better pay, but they also might be fearing they're missing out on the opportunity to have something better. And that is really important to be aware of, that if we always think the grass is greener on the other side, sometimes it is, but oftentimes it isn't, because we have to deal internally with what is going on inside of our hearts, what's going on in our minds, and how we are actually approaching these things. So just be very cautious if you're having FOMO driving and dictating your investing strategy. That is something you really want to be cautious about. And once again, I'm just a guy on YouTube. I don't have all the answers. I can't really give you financial advice, but I can encourage you that I have gone through this personally. I have usually thought, oh my goodness, I don't want to miss out on this opportunity. Oh my goodness, I think there's a lot of media attention. I should go into this right now. And more often than not, I try and take a step back and say, you know what, this is probably not best right now, because if I'm feeling this way, a lot of other people are feeling this way as well. Therefore, I want to be more calculated in my decision making and have more peace in my life so I can achieve my goals without stressing myself out. The third investing pitfall that you want to avoid is not having a system. And this is very important for various reasons, but we want to take a step back and think about the psychology. And when you're considering investing your money into the market, whether you're going into cryptocurrency or you're just going into the stock market, you want to have an automated system in place that you've already agreed to that strategy that can help you override some of your impulses or more of your emotional decision making. And what this means is that hopefully you can have an automated system that will easily invest into the market on a regular basis. That way you can continuously buy these assets or invest into the market without having to worry about what the price is doing. Now, personally, that is what I do. But on the one hand, you want to be aware of is I personally invest into index funds. That is my primary vehicle that I utilize. I generally avoid cryptocurrencies and meme stocks. I leave my overall portfolio less than 5% of anything, including that type of more risky investment. And 95% of my investing is just going into the S&P 500 or the total stock market index. And what I do is basically on Wealthfront, which is the tool that I use. I've linked below if you actually want to try it out yourself. What I do is basically invest every single month a set amount of money that goes into that and then invest directly into this mix of stocks. And that helps me have more peace of mind that irrespective of what is going on in the market, if it's up or if it's down, I'm continuously putting money into that. Now, some of you might be saying, well, Zach, why would you continuously invest in the stock market? Aren't you supposed to buy low and sell high? So there are some truths in that, but that's generally if you're more a day trader or if you're a swing trader. If you're someone who's every single day doing so, you might actually want to do something where you're being more calculated. What I prefer to do is what is called dollar cost averaging. And what dollar cost averaging is basically I'm going to continuously buy into the market because my belief, my personal conviction is that the stock market will continue to grow over time. Over the next 10, 20, and 30 years, which is my long-range investment approach, I believe that I will have more money invested and I will have my money grow over time due to compound interest. Therefore, I'm going to have a higher net worth at the end of the day if I'm just steadily putting money into this kind of asset class. Now, you might disagree with me. You might see, hey, well, Zach, I can 10x my money real quickly in crypto, or I could run up on a meme stock. That is totally cool. You might have a different risk tolerance than myself, and that is completely fine. I'm just telling you what I do. And the reason why I do this is to avoid the psychological approach that a lot of us have, where we're once again utilizing fear to drive our decision making. And because of that, if I have my money automatically being invested, I don't really care what happens in the stock market every single day, because oftentimes I find that our media and generally what happens in the influencer world is people are generally driving people with fear. They're generally saying, oh my gosh, the stock market's gonna crash. Oh my gosh, this cryptocurrency is gonna go to the moon. Oh my gosh, you're gonna lose all your money. And because of that, because of all this fear and uncertainty and doubt that comes in, we often then make emotional decisions of saying, oh, I'm not going to invest in the market, or I'm gonna put all my money in right now. And instead, what I do is I take a deep breath and say, hey, my money's going into the market no matter what's happening right now. And that assures me that over time, I'm actually gonna have more money at the end of the day invested. And I personally believe that because of the historical track record that has occurred in the stock market, that my money is gonna be worth more at the end of the day, and I'll have a higher net worth, which will provide me with a more comfortable retirement. The fourth investing pitfall that you want to avoid is not understanding what you're investing in. Now, this is very important, that if you're going to be putting your hard-earned money, which you work very diligently to acquire, to then put it to work in the stock market or into a cryptocurrency or into some sort of other asset class, if you do not understand what you're placing your money into, you want to be very careful. And this is why I find it very challenging when people are considering going into a meme stock or into an untested or unknown cryptocurrency. They just might YOLO all of their money into it, not thinking really about what the product is or what the asset is. Now, yes, you can get lucky, you could actually make money doing so, but you might be more likely to pull your money out when things get bad if you really don't believe in the investment you're doing. That's why personally I have landed where I am right now, where index funds are the driving force behind my entire investment strategy, or the majority of my investment strategy, because I can look historically and see the annual return is anywhere between 7 to 10% on an annual basis for the index fund when I'm considering the total stock market. That's when I have your dividends reinvested and you're considering that adjusted for inflation. When I consider it, I know what I'm investing in when I invest in an index fund. I know that I'm investing into basically the total stock market, in my belief that the US economy is going to continuously be a driving force in the world and actually is going to produce returns on an annual basis. Because at the end of the day, I want every single person watching this video to be successful. I want you to achieve your goals, whatever they are, whether they're financial, personal, relational, vocational, whatever it is. I hope that you can achieve them, and I hope that this information can help you get there a little bit more effectively. So if you do that, and if your ultimate goal is just to have more financial freedom, a little bit more peace of mind, or if you just want to be more mindful in the presence, that way you don't have to be stressed out about what is going on, hopefully you can apply some of these things, and hopefully you can take time to maybe research and understand what you're investing in. That way you have more peace of mind when you're putting your money into the market. The fifth and final investing pitfall that you want to avoid is checking the market every single day. Now, this is going to apply to those who are investing in index funds or those who have a more long-term objective when it comes to your investment strategy. But if you're constantly checking the market, then you're more likely to make impulsive decisions. Now, you're going to need to check the market if you're in a meme stock or if you're in a cryptocurrency that is very volatile, because you want to make sure that if it is diving or if it's going and hitting a peak, you can sell. But generally speaking, if you're constantly checking the stock market, if you're constantly checking your investments, it's very difficult for you to not only be mindful in the present, but it can bring more stress into your life, which can have a detrimental health impact to yourself as well. Furthermore, you might be more likely to make a poor and less informed decision when it comes to your investment if you see it going down or going up. You might be more afraid to put more money in. You might be willing to take your money out too quickly. There are all sorts of negative consequences that come from checking on a regular basis. So that is why I have taken a more peaceful approach personally for my investment strategy, so that way I don't have to consistently check what is going on in the market. And that allows me to be more present in the moment and focus on the other objectives and pursuits that I have in my life, so that I can be more effective at work, I can be more present for my wife, I can do all these other things that I believe are more important than just my finances. But I know that because I have this automated system in place, I know that because I don't really care if the market is going up or down on any given day, I'm just continuously pursuing my long-term objective, which is to have more financial peace of mind later on down the road. With all that being said, I'd like to thank you for watching the video today. If you wouldn't mind, please tap the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Help push this video to other people who might need to hear it. Furthermore, if you have any questions, please comment down below. I'd love to interact with you, get to know you, do any research on your behalf so that we can make well and wise informed decisions moving forward. Furthermore, if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to the channel. That would mean a lot to myself personally, as I do everything I can to create positive content that hopefully makes a positive impact in your life by encouraging you and myself to lead lives of meaning and purpose, all while maintaining balance and moderation. And if you do subscribe to the channel, please tap the notification bell. That will notify you every time I post a video, which I do on a weekly basis. Once again, I'd like to thank you for watching the video today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Talk to you next time.